Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, Little Mango. Sorry I haven't posted in a really long time. I've just been kind of busy with school and work and now this whole quarantine thing. By the way, stay at home, guys. I want you guys all safe. You're my little mangoes. I want you all safe. Today we're going to be doing a Katsuki X listener due to the fact that it's his birthday and he's my favorite character in Boku no Hero Academia. I won't be doing any voices for this one, sadly, because I'm not so good with kid voices and I'm not so good with, with kid boy voices, because I don't have like a gruff low tone enough. I have more of a squeaky high tone if I need to. Trust me, I can do some demonic stuff, but I can't do tiny child boy. But I won't be able to do voices for this episode, but hopefully for upcoming ones I'll be able to do voices for those. But for right now, I'm sorry that I can't. Another thing is, this is a Bakugo X listener that I have been working on for a while. It is a Katsuki X listener, and the listener is Izuku's sister. I created this one fanfiction, I want to say maybe a year ago. So I'm finally going to start sharing it with the world. It's a pretty long fanfic, so I'll probably have more than a few parts. So this is part 1. And we're going to go ahead and get started. So, hope you liked my intro, and I'll be back. Alright, chapter 1. Hey! Huh? Izuku and Wyan turn around to see 3 older students. They looked about to be in middle school. Hey, kids. The juice machine requires a couple of cha-ching, and we're kind of out of cash. You got anything to spare? No, we don't give to strangers, Wyan said, trying to hush Izuku from franticing a little bit. Wyan was an early quirker. Which basically means she got her quirk a little bit earlier than usual for most kids. She got her quirk around the age of 3. Her twin brother still hadn't got his quirk, and he was wondering if he ever would. Though she assured him since they were only 3, nothing should happen for right now. Wyan's quirk was... she can burn a form of acid in her stomach, which travels through like a type of tube-like thing through her hands to go into her fingertips, where she can move freely at will, kind of like her mom moving stuff and her father with a fire-like stomach, who she breathes fire. Through this, Wyan can use her mist to come together in clumps and use it to basically be like balls or spikes or something that she can harden her mist into something if she can harden it enough. Kind of like magma, but not really, considering she's just firing parts of her stomach acid. Anywho, Wyan decides to use up her quirk a little bit, though she can't really use it well, so she can only make like small little spikes. The boys start to laugh and chuckle, saying, "We're not really that scared." They step up to them and start to hit them a little bit. They push around Izuku and push around her as she tries to fight back. She manages to get a really deep cut on one of the students' arms, and they hiss back in pain. You bitch! By the way, guys, I'm gonna be censoring cursing. Sorry. I got in trouble. Meanwhile, on the sidelines with Katsuki. Katsuki was walking on a regular day, trying to find where all his friends went, considering 2 of his friends went to go get something, while Izuku said he was going to go get his sister so he can meet her for the first time. Katsuki runs around a corner trying to look for where everyone went, considering he got left behind by accident, considering he didn't want to follow, but at the same time he didn't want to wait around. So he ends up finding Izuku and his sister getting into a bit of a battle, as he would phrase it, later on. He sees that they're getting kind of beaten up, and he sees a little girl with green hair and pigtails trying to fight off using a quirk, though she looked too young to be using a quirk. This made him question things. He ended up showing up and saying this. "Oi! What the hell do you think you guys are doing?" Looking straight at the guys. The girl immediately turns her head and gets punched in the face while doing so. She ends up falling to the side while Izuku yells, "Wyan!" Katsuki looks to the side and the guys say, "Man, this is too many kids for one time. Let's just frickin' go." The kids all run away. Katsuki slowly smiles to himself and then says, "Showed them. but then turns around and remembers the little girl he saw. Seeing how she got slightly more beat up than he anticipated, and seeing how Izuku got a little bruises, he decided to help get them back to Izuku's house. He carries the girl and walks with Izuku to go back to the house. Meanwhile, during the way, he pesters Izuku with 1,000 million questions. Basically, who the girl was and everything. After Izuku was done explaining that was his sister after they ditched their friends, they make it back to the house, where Inko, or Izuku and Wayan's mom, started to patch them up and fix them up, all kind of bawling a little bit out of fear for her poor kids. Katsuki and Wayan start to talk for a little bit after she wakes up from the punch, and she starts to thank him, and they start to sorry, it's been a while since I've done one of these, and start to talk for a little bit. They talk and talk and talk while Izuku starts to join in, and Katsuki actually seems to be having a good time to talk. He's surprised at the pleasant conversation. They all decide to go outside and go find the others that they kind of ditched behind at the park. They go and ended up meeting with everyone else. Chapter 2. I'm sorry if these chapters are short that I'm reading. I created this really long time ago. Chapter 2. We just started middle school now, Wayan stated in her mind. In Wayan's mind. We started high school a long time ago. Sorry, middle school. I can't read. We started middle school a while back. Katsuki hasn't acted the same since he did when he was a kid. Izuku never got a quirk, and I felt horrible. My quirk felt really huge in a way, based off the way everyone described it. And it made me feel like I took away a part of Izuku when I had that. I felt really bad. But Izuku always told me not to worry about it, that he'll find another way to be a hero. I always try to persuade him that he can still be a hero by doing other means. Like, maybe he could be a technical hero that helps by finding information for heroes. Or police officers are heroes too, in their own way. Izuku always was set on becoming an actual thing, but he didn't mind my options as well. During middle school, Katsuki, once he got his quirk a long time ago, as expected, became really mean and ego-wise. He didn't really like being around everyone the same way he used to. Though when it came to me, he didn't really say much towards me. He just always would scoff when he looked at me. Like he didn't want to insult me, because I wasn't worth his time. I felt really bad. Me and Katsuki had a really good relationship. He even let me call him by his first name while everyone else just called him by a nickname. I don't know what happened. Out of Wayan's mind. Meanwhile, Wayan is walking to her classroom. Her and Izuku have different classrooms because of the fact that she was an early quirker, and plus her quirk wasn't so good for her body. Burning up stomach acid isn't too good for the immune system. She kind of pukes when overusing it and doesn't feel too good while using it either. It doesn't necessarily fully hurt her, it just kind of is it's not a really fun feeling. So she goes into a special class for special kids with kind of dangerous, yet dangerous to self kind of quirks. She's been like this ever since elementary, only ever having about 1 or 2 classes with Katsuki and Izuku, which seemed to always have classes together. She never really knew what was happening between the two while they were in their classes, or what happened between the two during any time they had together, since they only really spent lunch together. Eventually, it was almost time for them to try to find a high school to go into. Katsuki was set on going to UA, so was Izuku and yourself. Katsuki was pretty sure that he was going to get in. Heck, he even told you might even get in, if I was lucky enough, which I found very shocking. 1, he complimented me. 2, He actually spoke to me, instead of just scoffed and looked away when I asked him his opinion. I was so happy. Though he kind of crushed that, with saying that everyone else is so pathetic they might as well take the other weakling into the school. Which made me upset, but I decided not to comment on it. I just sighed and huffed. Izuku, on the other hand, also said he wanted to get a UA, which made Katsuki kind of stop in his tracks, turn around, and look like he wanted to murder my brother. Immediately, I used my quirk to stop him by putting acid enough to get his shoes stuck onto the floor, because that thing kind of is like lava. Created kind of like a barrier on his legs, so he really couldn't move. Though I managed to get it off because it really doesn't last. It is acid after all. My screen turned off. Sorry, guys. Anywho, where was I? Yeah, okay. Katsuki hated when I did this, but he never really yelled at me for doing so. Except for this time. Gosh damn it, YN! Freaking let me go! No. You can't look at my brother that way. If he wants to be a hero, he can be a hero too. Katsuki, I ain't letting you go until you stop. That look in your eye. At this point, I became frantic, trying to come up with excuses for him to please calm down. He looked at me for 2 seconds and scoffed, and then his face kind of turned a bit red. I didn't quite understand it, but oh well. I released him from my quirk once he looked like he calmed down, which he somewhat did. He ended up going to tease on my brother, and eventually Izuku told me that when I turned my back, he whispered to him, "Don't you even think about it, nerd," while they walked back. I don't know why Katsuki decided not to tell me this, but oh well. During the same day, Izuku looked completely defeated. I tried everything to convince him everything was okay. Heck, I even bought him ice cream from the little ice cream shop we used to go to when we were kids. I'd always cheered him up whenever he was really down. It seemed nothing was going to get his mood improving. But before we can go straight home, I forgot my notebook in class. I had to go all the way back and run to get it. I told Izuku not to worry, so I went to go run back. I wonder what happened. Next thing I know, I see a gush of wind behind me. I forgot to worry about it, thinking it was probably just a hero trying to rush over to some random villain across the street. And I continue running to go get my books. I run into the classroom and I get my books finally. I'm out of breath when I hear a strange noise outside. Sounded like an explosion. Was Katsuki using his quirk? At school? I went down to see Katsuki and his friends kicking some cans and other stuff. I don't know what they were talking about, and frankly, I wouldn't want to find out. 'Cause last time I saw someone eavesdrop on Katsuki, they did not end up well. I was about to leave when suddenly Katsuki kicked something and then a big, loud type of growl happened. I turn around and see this sludge-like monster take a grasp of Katsuki. I rush in trying to help, but I am ushered away by heroes. They told me not to do anything and just to stand back while they try to fix the situation. I trust the heroes, but I hope he's okay. I watch aimlessly in the crowd. Suddenly I see a familiar green face in the very back of the crowd, and I see Izuku rush to the front, completely frantic, with very clear panic in his eyes. I pull him in the front of the crowd and start asking him, "Izuku, what's going on? Izuku, I'm sorry, but how did you, I thought you were..." He covered my mouth and said, I know that monster." "What?" I said. We both looked back and saw Katsuki's face. It scared the living hell out of us. We just started moving. Izuku grabbed onto my hand, and I grabbed onto his, and we just started bolting it. I used my quirk to blind the enemy while Izuku also uses his backpack to slice parts of it. I'm using my quirk to kind of use my acid to see if I can get some of the sludge off. I'm trying my hardest, and I almost managed to get him free from his arm, while Izuku managed to get him to be able to breathe for a while. I was honestly impressed with us. Suddenly we hear some noise in the background, and All Might? Izuku's hero since the beginning. Izuku and Katsuki's hero was here. He ended up saving us. It was so cool. He saved all three of us, putting us down. In a somewhat gentle way, I guess. Me and Katsuki were commended. Katsuki was commended for his bravery, and I was commended for my righteousness? I'm not sure. I wasn't really paying attention. I was more mad at them for being mad at my brother for going in while he could have passed. I don't see why they had to yell at him. He was being so brave. It almost made me want to yell back at them, but I didn't. Meanwhile, I felt something boring to the sides of my head when I turned around and saw it was Katsuki's eyes. I looked at Katsuki and he scoffed, looked very angry, and turned away. Me, Izuku, and Katsuki got up, and I started to try to talk to Katsuki. He pushed me away and said he said nothing. Well, he basically just pranced away. Dun 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 dun. Me and Izuku ended up walking home that day, completely confused, completely heartbroken. I felt so bad for Izuku. He got hated the whole time. I turned to Izuku, and I basically started encouraging him as much as I possibly could. But he wiped his face from the tears and said, "I'll become a hero," he whispered to himself. He looked at me, and I gave him such the hopefulest smile I could ever muster. I want my brother to be okay. Suddenly we hear a very annoyed "Oi!" from the background. There was Katsuki, heading towards us. "Don't think you guys fucking helped me! I didn't need your goddamn help!" Katsuki started to go into a frantic, explaining how we didn't need our help and how we should have just butted out. I sighed and said I should probably go stop the angry Pomeranian, and waved at my brother. My brother knew I normally would do this. Whenever Katsuki got into such a rage mode, I normally would follow him, and somehow I would be able to calm him down. I don't know what I would do. I would just be there, talk for a little bit, and somehow he would just calm down. So I ran up to Katsuki and started to chat with him. He told me to leave him the fuck alone, but... Oh, I forgot I'm supposed to bleep my bad words out. Sorry! He told me to leave him the heck alone, but... I wasn't going to. So I decided to continue and continue. Eventually we bought drinks from a vending machine. He told me when I was gonna bug off, but I never did. Eventually he gave up. Then we went to some random diner or wherever we could find. Something about the diner looked familiar, actually. I think we used to go there when we were kids, too. Like, once, but I don't remember too well. It was kind of a little far from where we were at originally, which was near my house. Which is kind of weird, but oh well, we ended up there anyway. Me and Katsuki started talking, and he seemed a lot more calmer than he was a couple seconds ago, so that was good. I asked him how he was after the whole sludge incident. And he basically just told me off and told me that he was fine, that I was a dumbass for thinking otherwise, and other stuff like that. The usual stuff he would tell me. I'm just happy he's talking to me. It's hardly ever times like this where he gets to talk to me. Eventually, we ended up leaving. I wave Katsuki bye, and he just says whatever and walks away to his house. I kind of chuckle at that. He can be such a tsundere sometimes. It's kind of cute. But not in that way. He's my best friend after all. I run back to the house, and I go back to where Izuku's at. And I find Izuku looking like he just got the last candy on Earth, super happy. He looks like a kid in the candy store. He looks like a ball of joy. I'm guessing because he got to see All Might today, because after dinner, he would not stop talking about All Might. It was adorable, but at the same time, kinda infuriating. I mean, come on. Anywho, that was just the beginning. Once we decided to start actually going out for high school, everything changed. And that's the end. That's part 1. That was chapter 1, 2. That was chapter 1 and 2. That was the end of my Bakugo ex-listener / Midoriya's sister. I hope you guys liked it. I worked on this comic for so long. Sorry that I'm so bad at it and nervous because, again, haven't done this in a while. So I hope you guys liked it. I'm enjoying telling you. This is part 1. I'll probably post 2 more parts today because I did promise I was going to get a lot more out today because it is Katsuki's birthday. And again, I'm celebrating his birthday in the best way I know possible by creating fanfiction, which is the only way I know possible. Hope you guys enjoyed it, and see you guys next time. Bye, my little mangoes. Bye-bye!